سبحان فالق الإصباح.
Holy are you, holy are you. There is no God but you.
Put you in the camel clutch, crack your spine like a Dutch. Sideline, ringside, paralyzed, fuck a crutch, cause you're gonna need a wheelchair. Then I mean with the overkill, smash your baby face with a steel chair. The square circle, you'll get killed there. Black and blue, when you turn her purple. When it's spilled there, ain't Bill Fair catching heat with the crowd. Just another vicious heel down the cheat and he's proud. Hear the screams when allowed. They're reading out his palms, fucking book of songs. When the dirty starties dropping bombs, ain't police with batons, but he's pro-martial law. You speak infidel, catch a partial to your jaw, bowing down to a law. Just pray you're not a victim. Equipped with a stable just in case he's got a sick him. No title when he strips him. He'll vacate the champ, sabotage him backstage, bash his face on the ramp. Yalla,
Yalla, yalla. I'll play it. We own the rights, baby. Rated R, Hacker Hameen. It's the Friday locker room. Ham Solo. That's right. We're going to punch it through the Van Allen belts, Chewy. And guess what? Guess who's the co-pilot today, infidels? You are. That's right. It's the first call-in show. What's the number here? 315-533-2665. 315-533-2665. It's the Friday Locker Room live. Twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman, hackerhameen.podbean.com. Yalla!
His mission's accomplished, he will be the reigning champ. Putting all you fat fans in a weight training camp. Armageddon has come, he'll put an end to pro wrestling. Hacker Hameen, and you might as well rep the game.
That's right, that's right. You might as well rep it. You might as well rep it. So, yeah, man, I hooked up the Google Voice. We'll see if it goes off. Stevie's on mission. And tried to get a Mondo lined up, but he's got work, so it's all hood, man. It's not the money. The Friday Locker Room. Good morning, wrestle. No, not that idiot. As he tries to relaunch some old bullshit again at Wrestle Inc. Already doing interviews, marking out with a cheeser smile, and ruining guys' fucking heat instead of doing good business. Shocker. But that's not what we do here at Hameen Media Group. It's heels over strong with real credibility. And we appreciate you guys joining us on YouTube, Ben Hameen YouTube. If you haven't subscribed there, we also have Hameen Media Group. For you to subscribe to, blowing up over there right now. Appreciate that. There's new episode of episode 2 of Triple D Star Trek podcast, the new Force Orders, pretty much on the way here, or else it might be out right now. And Horror Junkyard blowing up with their call-in stuff and moving on to the gaming. So, dude, everybody just hitting on all cylinders. New Suck My Balls super podcast to cover the South Park movie. I think they split it into 2. So there's no place for you to go on the mainstream media, all that bullshit you're paying for cable all the time. It's right here, Hameen Media Group, Russo's brand. Just great entertainment from top producers all the time, man, on the stuff that you want to listen to. And we also have going till Monday, I believe. We're taking submissions for the 5-star Meltzer Seltzer podcast. So if you guys are a pro in something, or you want to join the Hameen Media Group, or you've been waiting to be creative, or maybe you already have something you want to submit it, we're taking submissions at hameenmediagroup@gmail.com. I'm going to narrow that down to 5. I'll have a vote. My producers will come together and have a collective vote, and the audience will have a vote. And someone's going to get to be a new Hameen Media affiliate and take advantage of this whole group that we've put together to, build your audience is one of the toughest things going on. And that's just a huge opportunity for anybody who's feeling creative and wants to push themselves. We got some awesome emails this past week. I know Matt's been getting them as well from all over the world, you guys. From UK, I got a great one this week of a guy who is going back, or not even going back. He started writing sports writing, and he just got hired and signed. So he's getting away from that, 8 to 5. I got to put in the grind for X amount. He did his labor of love thing, and because he's a Hameen Media Group, Jesus, GGP'd it. Because he's a Media Group supporter, Russo brand listener, he hears that inspiration that we're spitting all the time of the yes, you can. He's applied himself. And that's the most important thing, because it doesn't matter what goes on in here. It's what's outside in your world that you want to do. Just take the model, apply it, and you're going to live a happier life in the 78 trips around the burning star that's in the vacuum of space that you get to do. So those types of things in the face of me getting angry, which I kind of have been fucking pissed off on shows this week, even though I've been happy about stuff. I don't know. I need to maybe tighten that up. I'm going to have some Silvio in my life later today on Light the Fuse. So hopefully that'll bring me back down to earth a little bit. But people like the hot takes, but I don't like doing them just to do them, So it's all going down. I want you guys to produce, even if you don't have a podcast and want to send it to the 5-star star search. It's whatever you're doing, man. Like, I don't care if you want to be the best farmer or whatever the frig out there. Go out there and do your thing. You know what I mean? So appreciate it. I see the chat filling up. Newfie, our own tables, others, and chairs is in there. And Drazen. Who else we got here? Oh, obviously Matt Schaffer, first to the board. Maple Leaf Stoner. Nathan Vaughn, and Nate Clinton in the house as well. So appreciate you guys joining us. I'll give the number out here again in just a minute. Talking all your latest news, rumors, wrestling, what have you. It's Switch It Up September, so I was looking for a switch up guest, but I thought, fuck it, if I go solo, that's a switch up. And then if I include the phone number, you guys are the fucking co-host, you stupid infidel morons. So don't waste my time with any dumb shit. Nah, you guys are the heavy hitters. I totally know it. So I know we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Here comes Grace. She wants to be on the show. Dogs of War in the house this morning for your Friday locker room. Last night was a good time on Conspiracy Horseman. Like I said, Stevie was on the road. And it's easy to fill in with GGP and Sal. There's no big space missing. We always love having all of us together, but the conversation was a very wide spectrum last night, as we talked about the Australia, thought police cracking down and arresting people over Facebook posts. It's just like, you're going to try that shit in America. How do you think that's going to go? Like, how well do you think that shit is going to go, man? It's just as they amp everything up. And we talked about the new Facebook rollout for October 1st with censorship coming. And then last night, and that's what I say, I was hot. Like, I'm going to bed pissed off, and I don't sleep anyway, so it doesn't make much fucking difference. People in the Hameen Media Group are like, my post got pulled. I never thought I'd see that in there. And maybe they didn't listen to Monday Locker Room, and I need to keep repeating it. But, it's not like we're in there to moderate, but it's a pretty free speech society around Hameen Media Group. But if you're just going on to cunt off and troll, right now is not the time, because they're going to look for any excuse to pull the community, where the community does really good work, and one dumb motherfucker who wants to get their shit in, or two or three or four, if you're that motherfucker, be smarter. If you value Hameen Media Group property in this time where we have to go to DEFCON 3, fucking be smarter about how you use your intel and put things out there, and what you're going to fucking actually waste your fucking time on, because the time is very important right now in what it is. I'm not saying we can't have fun and do that kind of stuff, but then if something gets pulled because we're trying to tighten up ranks the next 90 days as we head into a civil war madness, people are like, I never thought this group would be the one to crack down on censorship. Isn't that something? Trying to get their sad sack shit in. I will slap your fucking tits in front of everyone. And then you'll go and tweet, apologize, dive, repeat, because you think that I don't see everything. I fucking see it all. And what I waste my time or what I'm at. And if you catch me at the wrong time on some Mark shit, you're going to get your fucking lunch eaten. So smarten up, wise up. Don't fucking cry like a little pussy ass bitch, because that's not what we do around here. It's Cobra Kai style. And we got to fucking be smart about things. And then if you're just going to get a comment in and fucking try and rake me over the coals or any of my producers, you're going to get fucking lit up with a bunch of heat. And then you're going to get embarrassed in front of everybody that you thought the community was from, because you thought you were going to get over. You get no wins here. You can either be a part of the fucking solution. If you want to be a part of the problem, you'll be exposed. It's the same as the new kids walking into the dojo thinking they're fucking over and they can say what the fuck they want to say instead of shit. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and get ready to start doing drills. So y'all, and if anybody's got a heat with that, leave. It's that simple. I'll double the money that you paid to get in. I'll give you double your money back on all the fucking content. So, y'all, you want hacker hot? That's how it is, man. I'm sure we're going to talk about this in extent on Light the Fuse, but as angry as those things make me, I'm so happy today. And you can hear it. You can hear the happiness in my voice. I'm so proud after last night. AEW was Serena versus Thunder Rosa. You know, Serena's wife number 2 for me, and part of something special, man. People know disco coaches, you know, cross and stuff, but when it comes to Serena, like her dad passing away a while ago and all that stuff, and us coming up from OVW, there was a group of us because we were unsigned, you know, and we were there when there was signed people, so we only really had each other, and we call ourselves the core. We all lived together in the ghetto ass apartments in the complex, and so there's a core of us that still work together, and 2 of them are on this fucking platform, Silvio and Ted the Man Beast. I'll run them down. Adam Revolver's the other one. You could say Ali, my old partner, even though he didn't live there. Jamin Olivencia, who I'd love to have on here. Mike Mondo was signed, but he's down with the core. Rick Victor was the other one. And who else am I leaving out here? Mobile Homers. Well, totally awesome. So Paradise Jimmy, who's in NXT. And Deeb. Like, that was our fucking unit. And Hog Wild maybe too, as the kick around. And then, you know, that was all we had was each other. We wrote all shows. We were just doing it. Serena was a little more over because she was a great worker, obviously, but she was getting to work with Beth and Phoenix and ODB and Katie Lee and all them as non-contract. And, you know, she was on the cusp, and Jamin was champion as a non-contract. Those were big days for us as kids that are paying our dues as the sons of Rip. So last night, you know, I mean, she found out about it pretty quickly, so I've been having to keep it kayfabe, and I life coach her through everything, whether it's the Mae Young Classic, whether it's advising on gear, me being a director, getting a performer's head right, telling her what the match should be, and then not like, you need to do this, that, and the other, but, you know, what did she do last night that was different than everybody on AEW? 0 spots. We wrestled. The one spot they did do, which was Thunder Rosa's gimmick, and I'll talk about this, was that triple neck breaker thing, and that's the only thing in the match that looks shitty. And it wasn't that bad, but it was a spot, right? We had a competition. We had to get into this spot, but they told a neck breaker story and a pin story, and they stole the show. They didn't do any egregious shit. You heard JR going crazy on the mic for him, putting over, I hope I don't get in trouble, but this is one of the best damn women's matches we've ever had. And because neither of them are signed. Neither of them are actually AEW talent because they signed a bunch of girls out of the indies or Japan who aren't ready for TV. Serena is made for TV from day one. A real worker after watching that stuff and just seeing how she positions herself, gets to certain places in a realistic way, as opposed to watching Bailey and as opposed to watching and the Iconics and all them where they get hit, march right over for the next thing, post up for the next. Dude, with Serena, it's so natural, so awesome, so believable, such quality of wrestling from the lockup. That was the best lockup in AEW history in the first 3 seconds. She's phenomenal. And JC sports fan says, I never saw her work before. She's good. That is the thing. There's so many sons of Rip and daughters of Rip that are that good. Maybe not, she's exceptional, but people just don't know, man. And that's why I get on shows, and I'm not saying my wrestling's anything compared to hers by any stretch of the imagination, but people are like, you're the best thing on the show. How do we not know about you? And so you got like a lot of us are the best kept secret in wrestling because we don't make it onto a PWI 500 fake ass list. That fucking dude, I picked out 30, 40 guys on that list. I go, I will gladly, who are in the top 300. I go, I'll gladly put my year envelopes up against theirs, and we'll see who the fucking more successful wrestler was, who was booked more, who made more money, who fucking worked a program over X amount of time instead of just working a spot here in a match that didn't mean shit. Like, that shit is a rib to me, you know? And I know when people say that that best in the world shit or the GOAT, like when people who are saying that, you've heard me say it, you're not the best in the world. You're not even the best in the room, and you're believing your own hype. That's what it is when it comes to rips, kids. And there's tons of people, man, that I can name that were DCW. You can go back on my YouTube and watch DCW, from Sergio to Debo. Like, I can go right down the list. Rough Rider Rashawn, guys who are 10 times better than people that you got on NXT TV and AEW TV. And they just they're not known. But people think these other fucking goofs who can't even work for the camera the right way and position themselves for TV have no idea, have never been trained to do that. Dude, we do that shit as second nature. That's why we outshine everybody. That's why we can go on a show and cut a promo and fucking not be exposed, you know, which, there's a lot of that going on, man. Thunder Rose and Serena were both better than the whole AEW women's roster, says Joey Lamia. You're 100% right, bro. You're like, every girl on that roster should watch that match and be extremely fearful for the next 2 months, because the standard just got raised by two women who were doing a spot match on your fucking show. Like, and to be honest with you, that's the standard. Like, if you can't hold that, then you probably shouldn't be on TV, really. And Thunder Rosa's got a lot to learn too, and Serena can make great matches for so many people. But the reality is, it should be Serena's time to seriously shine, and she did last night. And as you know, someone who's been super close to her for 13 years, and I consult with her every day that I can, you know, on this kind of stuff. Whether it's Disco having influence over Cross, Rip having influence over us, her trusting me and wanting advice and you know, life coach a little bit and get them in that mindset where we trust each other. That shit is way more important to me. So regardless, man, I had to sit on this shit for the last 4 or 5 days. But this is how we support each other. The True Sons of Rip, the OVW crew, and that's what Hameen Media Group's based off of. And I'm super excited and pumped to be able to have Ted McNailer, or Dr. Ted, Outback Ted, Fancy Ted, whatever you want to call him, and the Chris Silvio back in the fold, man, because it feels like old times, but we've got all the knowledge and experience now to capitalize off it. The days of paying dues are over. The time to reap the rewards is here, and that's what we're doing, man. So good morning, Strangers Alley. I see you, man. Ya Allah. Let me see. Great selling, great lockup. Love the match. Can't disagree with that at all, man. Chris Lovins in the house. 2CW Infidel. Damn straight, Hameen. Keep doing what you do. Promo class with Hameen should happen instead of some of these training seminars I see out there. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I had a good time at Rocky Mountain Pro. That's kind of on me getting out there and putting it down, you know. But who knows if we ever get back to business. You know, 2CW is, and I've already canceled that show, trying to put out their little videos of them going back to the future. There is no future. There's no future to go back to. It's all destroyed. Goldberg is champ till 2028. Y'all. All right. So let's see if we can do this. We're going to go to the headlines. The number is 315-533-2665. 315-533-2665 on your WrestleZone Daily. No Stevie today. It's Switch Up September, infidels. And we are here at Hameen Media Group for your Friday locker room. Stevie's out on mission, taking care of some business. So I figured I wanted to try this because we've been talking about a call-in show. So we'll see if it goes down. So 315-533-2665. Yeah. Now they're promoting Kylie Ray for that 2CW show. What a bunch of marks. Dude, Kylie Ray did a great job on Wrestle House. We had an awesome time talking about that. on the Impact Attack this week. Looks like we got our first call coming in. Let's see if it works. Yeah, Allah, Infidel, what are you flying, a helicopter?
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, let me see.
To accept,
Ya Allah, are you there, Infidel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's going on? Who I got?
You got Andres.
A. Andresen's in the Friday locker room. It's
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Well, I thank you for all the support, dude. Great bit cheer and obviously keeping us plied with liquor so we can get through the apocalypse together, man. Thank you. So let's get to the first headline here, man. We'll kick it through one. First one out of the gate, big one is The Rock's got COVID, or his family does, man. You think this is part of a greater conspiracy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not conspiracy working this, right? So that's where we go. But he seems like.
You got me on speaker right now, bud? Sorry.
Is that better?
You have me on speaker right now?
No.
Okay, because I was getting a lot of feedback for some reason there. There, now you're better.
There we go. No, I definitely think so. Heck, if you even look at the video, it looks like a green screen that he's in front of, talking about I'm stuck at home.
Right.
I don't get it. He's the happiest person with COVID I've ever seen. So I follow Larry Johnson. Do you follow him on Twitter?
Let me see where it is. I got to bring up this.
Larry Johnson 7, but
yeah.
He's actually used to be the Chiefs running back, right?
Yeah. He does he does a lot of conspiracy work too, right?
Yep. And he's on that one going through it too, and it's just very convenient. Keep bringing out the big, they keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
To keep it in the forefront because everybody's over it.
That, like I said, I saw yesterday that they're talking the vaccine by November 1st, Trump vaccine, trying to label that shit. Will The Rock be one of the first ones to get it and be the poster boy and all this shit? I just see as they roll it out, man. Here we are 2 months out from the madness, right? So Rock says the WWE icon turned Hollywood megastar confirmed Wednesday that he and his wife, Lauren Hashayan, as well as their 2 young daughters, all recently tested positive for the disease. Said, quote, "This has been one of the most challenging and difficult things we have ever had to endure as a family and for me personally," Johnson wrote on Instagram. The good news is that Johnson family is already recovering. And in fact, the great one says his entire family is already on the other side of any serious danger and are no longer contagious. Says, "We're counting our blessings, but we are good, man." I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Obviously, the gas can beat the virus. He definitely didn't lose any mass or any size, right?
Yeah, so you're saying a healthy dose of testosterone and HGH could be the cure for COVID. I think that's what they're actually distributing down in Florida. I've seen a lot of guys using that vaccine, that HGH and test vaccine. You could be onto something.
I mean, it's the new super drug, I guess. So it's also interesting because he wants to get into the political realm, or people keep trying to push him in there. So it just seems like and again, another step, another one of the bigger dominoes to keep it in the forefront. Especially was interesting after the whole 6%, which I know you guys talked about last night, theory. So or the CDC came out with. So every time they kind of unveil a little bit, then they drag everybody back 1 step forward, 2 step back, kind of double think.
Yeah, or is this coming down from up on high on Hollywood to start flipping people to get the celebrity movement of it, over right? If celebrities and rock stars do it, then everybody else will do it, like straight up the cocaine gimmick from Godfather, right? Or heroin.
I think we're past that. I think even common people. I mean, COVID's been hard for me just because it's kind of driven a bit of a wedge in me and some of my sisters and stuff like that, right? And in terms of where we each stand on it, and even they're turning against it. I mean, everybody's done and over it. And they're losing the grip on it before. If the election's the play, then they're losing their grip on it before. So yeah, I think it will be all hands on deck to try to get some of these stories out there, which is ridiculous. And also on the conspiracy side of COVID that I hit this one is, I mean, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I'm around a lot of universities. They bring all the kids into universities. What do kids do? They party. They all supposedly get it. We'll see they do. They all get it. And then what happens? They shut the university down and send everybody home. Like, what sense does that make in terms of what wouldn't you just lock the kids down where they're partying and tell them to hang out and get over it versus sending them all home to get everybody else sick?
Right. It's the petri dish, and they're exposing them. They're sending them out to be that way. Or is anything even really that lethal for kids of that age? You see that through every college. There's always a big flu that sweeps through the dorms, or mono, or fucking herpes, depending on which school you go to, or wherever. But that's going to be. It's always a petri dish. That's why college is over, because it's a self-contained little safety fucking bubble where you can say the dumb shit that you learned in class 2 hours ago and act like you're fucking enlightened now, right? So. I think a big part of that too, and we talked a bit about this last night, is the state money. Like, we got to get this money from the federal government. Let's get all the kids here. And then if we got to shut it down, it won't matter, because we at least did these days and started because of the mandates and all these rules they make up on the fly so they can get the fucking cash coming in, and then they don't give a fuck about diploma day for those kids, man. That it's just a meat grinder. These universities in the upper brass, unless you're really tenured and you're a professor, which I used to want to be that. But then I was like, dude, do I want to just sit in university off the same old shit that I've all done and become a professor who's like talking about shit 20 years ago and they're not even in the business like how they should be? Like, that doesn't appeal to me at all. But there's a meat grinder of upper level management that they'll get rid of somebody just to get that new money and have them in an interim basis. I've seen that over and over again.
Oh, for sure. And then, I mean, like, we're both student loan brothers there, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we paid our dues. We got that. I mean, I can't imagine being a freshman going in, pulling in for a week, getting sent home, and keeping the bill. The fact that the kids either don't care, maybe they just don't realize, but you want to talk about an uprising. I can't find a better reason to do so. You're going to take the college, the experience, all that away, say log into your computer and charge them the same. I don't think.
Yeah.
So, they're lucky that the kids are stupid, because that's highway robbery.
It's insane. Most expensive Zoom calls in history. That's for fucking sure, man. But I want to say thanks, Double A, for calling in, man. Hope you have a good weekend. Anything you want to plug that you got going on, man, at all?
Not at all, man. I just appreciate you having me on. So I'll continue to support you guys. I was a 9/11 truther. I'll give a little backstory real quick. It was a 9/11. That's where kind of my gateway thing. And then I heard you and Stevie on Russo 2.5 years ago. I said, fine, I'll check out this conspiracy thing. And it's literally changed my life over the last 1.5 years in terms of how I see things. And I'm grateful that I'm on the other side of it during this type of event as well, versus just being a sheep, man. So I really appreciate it. That's why I do the support. You guys deserve it. I have the means. So I appreciate everything you do.
You're the best, Double A. Thank you for being such a great supporter of HMG and Russo's brand, man. You're in the cut whenever the signal flare goes up, and we see it all going on. So I salute you, dude. And keep a level head during all the bullshit ahead. You know where to go. Whether it's the Discord or the Twitch chat group or the Hami Media discussion group, we're gonna hold it down.
Absolutely, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, Allah, man.
Yeah.
Double A Andreessen keeping us plied with that good brown liquor, and a good brother always in the chat room, man. Definitely adds to the conversation all the time. Let's see. Let's get back to the headlines here. So The Rock's got it. Also, and this is an interesting one, Kevin Nash confirms that he and his family tested positive for COVID. The Rock took to social media and said it, and then Nash says, welcome to the team. Very sorry your family's infected. I was tired for a while and didn't train for the 4th day. My wife still hasn't got smell or taste back. My son was asymptomatic. Pray you'll heal up quickly. Thank you for making people realize it's real. Man, I don't know. I gotta, here we are. Like, you've seen Nash go at fucking Trump. Now, I'm here to fucking flag wave for Trump because he's a fucking moron. But you know, the truth and the reality of what workers like Kevin Nash, one of the greatest worker minds, deviant minds, how to fuck people over in the business. And you know, just a guy who gets it, a guy who's Hollywood as well. I got to point that out. And you know, now the CDC thing gets released, and fucking they said what there's 126,000, but the reality is that was just a statistic. There's only 9,260 deaths. Oh, really? Why would I believe you about that number if you just took it from 120 to 960 after taking away all my civil rights? Now you got big guys in wrestling, big guys in movies, both happening to get COVID while the narrative starts to fall down around them. Rock hasn't really toed the line, but Nash definitely has toed the line of like trying to get, you know, subversive shots in as much as he fucking can, which is fine. But man, it just seems all too fucking convenient, doesn't it? 315-533-2665. 315-533-2665 is the number to call in for the Friday Locker Room. The first Friday call-in, Shizzo. Backstage news on Mauro Ronaldo leaving. It was announced yesterday that Mauro Ronaldo has left WWE. Former NXT announcer confirmed the news on his Facebook page. He says, I appreciate the opportunity I had to realize my childhood dream of working in sports entertainment, and I wish WWE well in the future. That pops me. Now I want to direct my focus and devote my time to other projects, to my mental health, charitable activities, and well-being of my mother and myself. As noted, Ronaldo was away due to family emergency. On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, he said he went back to his hometown of British Columbia, where his mother had been hospitalized after missing a couple of events. Ronaldo reportedly came to the realization that he didn't want to do WWE anymore. He's expected to continue with his duties with Bellator and Showtime Boxing. Meltzer noted that Ronaldo felt like his focus should be towards being mental health advocate, and pressure of his duties on NXT was something he decided to move away from. This was not considered a big blow up, but rather Ronaldo deciding it was time to go. Ronaldo first signed with WWE in 2015, but parted ways with the company in 2017 for some time off. He returned in June 2017 to lead the NXT announce team, reportedly signing a multi-year deal at the time. WWE issued a statement. You guys read it, that future endeavors, best of luck. But former WWE superstar Wade Stu Barrett, Bad News Bears, reportedly in talks with WWE for a full-time contract, likely to replace Ronaldo. Barrett called last Wednesday's NXT and is scheduled to return to Super Tuesday last night. Incoming call from California. Let's see who this one is.
Stranger.
To accept, press.
Is this the stranger?
Yalla.
Yalla, man. Good morning. Welcome to the Friday Locker Room. Early out there in Cali, if that's where you are.
That's where I'm at, baby.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for getting up early, joining us, man. Just talking about Mauro Ronaldo's leaving and, Wade Barrett coming in, Nigel McGuinness sideline. You've been watching the NXT product at all, or are you just watching the main shows?
I watched a little bit of NXT. Personally, I don't really think it's that entertaining of a show. It has like some good parts to it, but overall, it's just very kind of like, oh man, I don't really know how to explain it.
I think they're trying to be mainstream, but the reality is there's still a developmental league, and you've got some performers who are and some who aren't, and it really shows. You know what I mean? Week to week, I think that false positive that crowd gave them, and not to say Tommaso and those guys didn't earn that. You know what I mean? They paid for it in a lot of fucking unnecessary bumps. But, with Mauro and the mental health shit, this is more just like them being happy that he's leaving because they tested somebody, they got to him, and then they can push him out, which is more important to them than actually letting Mauro Ronaldo, a unique voice who can do it by himself, be the voice of NXT. Now we've got Beth, Nigel, Barrett, and like it's just like, all right, let's mix in a bunch, throw them in a blender, and not have any real branding to it when this guy could have been our Joey Styles. But it was more important for them to have JBL rib him and trigger his mental faculties.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit it on the nail with that one. Mauro had such a unique voice, the way he called matches, his energy. Nobody could really match that. And the way that, he was treated in the WWE, the way that they messed with him and that, triggered some of his mental illness. That's really messed up. And they really missed a big shot on having Mauro as their main guy. And he was doing that for a while. And he was kind of hit or miss for some people. Sometimes he was hit or miss for me too. And overall, I do think it's a big loss for them.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to call things. He knows how to call things New Japan style, old WCW moves, the histories. Somebody in the chat, what about, says he's going to miss the rap metaphors. You know what I mean? All that kind of shit that actually made him. You think Beth Phoenix is going to hit some on the fly rap lines to put over the stuff? I mean, I love Beth, but that's not what she's trained to do, man. She's trained to be a woman's champion. Even when she was trying to do character to hate on Pat McAfee, it came off as wrestling. Mauro's spontaneity and energy is in the moment. That's what really makes him great. And I think they fucked this up, man.
Yeah, and the way that he comes off, he makes the product sound so much more professional.
Sure.
And serious. You take it more seriously when you hear him call the match because it sounds like he cares about it when he's calling it, of how much energy he brings and how much you can tell he's into it. So it makes you want to be into it too.
Sure.
So I would even say, like, if I was them, I would just have Mauro come back to takeovers and just have him, that way it even makes it a bigger show. We got Mauro back. Hey, it's Mauro Ronaldo. Come back here at takeover and we're calling the big show. I think that would be good if they were to do something like that, much like how he does with boxing and MMA. You don't hear him on all the shows, but when you do hear him, you're like, oh damn, Mauro's calling the show tonight, and you're always going to get something good.
I think with all the wish you the best of luck and going on and blah, blah, that always to me means we got them, pushed them out, and we fucking won. There's not a what's best for the brand and Mauro's voice on a big show. I think you're right on with that, but even that they will sacrifice for the backstage, fuck you, gotcha scenario, which is mind-boggling that it still goes on today, but we see it with Mickey James and Magnus, Heat with Bruce Pritchard. What else did we see this week? There was another one that was like, that's got to be a heater scenario. Oh, after the Iconics broke up, just to throw the chick in the ring and get her knocked out to get her off TV and shit. Like, I don't know, man. They do a lot of things that have nothing to do with the storyline, but are strictly based off of some backstage shit.
Yeah, and I think that's really good that weekly you're coming on here, you're going live, and you're breaking down those things, because, I think that there are wrestling fans who are privy to those types of things, but maybe it's not being talked about all the time.
Sure.
And the fact that you guys bring those things up, it takes it into a lot of consideration of what exactly you're watching and why it is like what's happening on the screen for us,
The whole Bobby Lashley and Lana and Rusev thing. I mean, that was long-term business. That was 10 weeks of business. That was all a punishment. People were like, why does this creative suck so bad? They don't realize that this is, you want to go and get married? Oh, you want to break the Rocky IV thing that we're trying to do for you on social media? Oh, you want to do all these little dances and shit when you're supposed to be a monster heel? Like, okay, we got something for you then. You want to do comedy? We'll do comedy. Like that's the backstage Bruce, Heyman, and those guys conniving together just to cut somebody's throat, man.
Yeah, and then the fact that you're going to put that on TV, make us watch it week after week, and then you're not going to pay it off in any good way.
You got it.
It's just really kind of like a slap to the face to your viewers and to your fans who have been fans for a really long time, who want to see your show be good. I don't want to watch the show that's bad. In fact, I pretty much don't watch Raw, SmackDown, any of the shows anymore unless you're watching them.
Right.
If you're not watching them, dude, then I'm like, I ain't gonna watch that shit.
Well, I gotta watch it to review it for Russo, man. Not that I don't like being in this business, but it's been brutal for a long time. And I appreciate that you guys are in the SmackDown Live self-help group where we're just playing hip hop and having a good time and checking out the things we want to check out as I take notes to do the Raw and SmackDown review at Russo's brand. Man, like with them moving to Tuesday, they did 900,000. Maybe they need to stay there. This little stupid war between a developmental and a startup company that really doesn't know how to do business either was just for those little diehards. I don't think anything's really been advanced because of it. It's things that in the last month that have gotten away from the spot fest bullshit, Japanese wrong style that have stood out, whether it's Serena last night stealing the show with Thunder Rosa because all they did with wrestle, whether it was Pat McAfee doing that. And what's the tie that binds there? Rip Rogers training and psychology. So, that it's a nice little bit of retribution and reciprocity for a lot of us, me especially, after we have to sit through all the wrong shit. And then the people who we're closest with and that do the things that we do get a chance, even if it's not me or us. Like when they do it right and they show up everybody on the show night one, a guy who's had, that's his second match, and a girl who has not gotten her shot properly to show that she's probably the best woman wrestler on the planet. When they can both fucking score the touchdown and walk off with that, I love that kind of shit, man, in the face of the wrong shit that we have to keep constantly eating. When you finally get to see it done right and you go, there's the standard. Stop trying to tell me the game has changed and this is how it has, because what you're doing is proving to not work. Here's what works, and here's when it's done properly. They're like, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that. Well, you're gonna fucking see it and you're gonna hear it.
Yeah. You know what? I felt really good, watching Impact and then seeing Serena do so well yesterday. That was a good 2 days of wrestling right there. And like you were mentioning right now, we got a couple small victories with some of the people, and doing what they did, showing up. And I would even throw in Killer Cross there too.
100%.
What he was able to do, become a champ in such a short amount of time, and all the work that he's put in to his social media and his body of work. He busted his ass to get where he's at. And just for that to happen to him like that, it's so unfortunate, but that's wrestling, like you're going to get hurt, you're going to accumulate injuries, and in wrestling, timing is everything. And it just was the wrong time for Taylor,
Yeah.
He's gonna heal up and he's gonna come back even better than ever, because sometimes being away can be a good thing for your character. People were able to see like, Jesus, this guy's dominant, and now you're kind of you're taking that away from them. So you're taking away something that they wanted. So now they're gonna want it even more.
That's the biggest thing in wrestling, right? That you take it away and they want it. I mean, sure, we had Cross there and we wanted to pay off, but they will love it when he comes back. I do agree 100% with that, because here it is again, Disco Inferno, a guy whose whole thing is based around character, who's his main mentor. Disco, absolutely. Are they even close in what they do? No, but that's because Disco has his part to play, but he knows how to do it. That doesn't mean he's not a great director, booker, and mentor and big brother figure, which he obviously is to Cross. So you think that after every show, his first call isn't right to Disco for review and all that shit? It absolutely is. And then Cross also said he didn't get it in this biz for the first 2 years. He did 2 weeks with Rip Rogers, and then he just fucking clicked like that, man. So that's the reality of who's at the top of this business when given the opportunity, as opposed to the hype, false positives from fans, or being the elite fans who just want to put shit over for all the wrong reasons. And then 2 years later, when the business is rotten because they got their way, they don't want to have any accountability for it. Well, that's not what we do here at HMG.
Yeah, no way. We're gonna make sure that you guys are accountable.
Yeah.
If you want to kill the business.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Strangers Alley, calling in all the way from Cali this morning, early up, light one up, totem up, light them up, and flag that W, man. Don't get caught up in the madness with the liberal shit out there. I know it's crazy. We talked a bit about the laws they were passing last night on Conspiracy Horsemen, but we appreciate all that West Coast connection that we got out there, man. Y'all are real loyal.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, y'all. You have a good one, man. I'll talk to you soon, Infidel.
I appreciate you having me on, Ben. I really love all the content that you bring every week. Wrestling is my thing. Conspiracy is my thing. And you were able to bring those two worlds together for me. So these past 2 years listening to you has been great. I started wrestling a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And, so I'm a very young wrestler, and just hearing all the information and knowledge that you bring every single day, it helps a lot for my psychology. And I always try to, share bits and help out financially for you guys in any way that I can. So I really do appreciate you letting me come into your locker room. And I hope, that I wasn't a jackass or anything.
Not at all, brother.
So I just want to say thank you for everything that you do, Ben. Thank you very much.
Big up yourself, man. Thank you very much for being a great supporter and interactor, and tuck your chin. Don't fucking take any dumbass bumps if they don't mean nothing, just to get some shit in, man. Keep working hard, stay humble, and we're here, man. Glad to have you as a part of the crew.
Absolutely, brother. One love.
Y'all. Cool, man. Having a good time here with this shit. It's nice when it works out. Mauro's fired. That was the headline there. Let's see. Hausman interviewed Rob Van Dam to try and blow his heat about is Rob going to retire soon? And he just put it over. He even puts over, I'm probably the highest paid guy on the card, which is true because I know what we paid for him for 2CW, and it was no fucking small chunk of change. And he delivered versus Sammy in Binghamton. It was a fucking phenomenal night for us on a Monday night. And he even puts over in this that he's got Katie with him, which is a draw instantly now. Dude, they open the show with that, with Katie twerking and doing this strip club stuff. It sets them apart from every other wrestling show instantly, dude. And RVD being a worker, I say let Katie be in there, because you know what he says? Know what that means to RVD? I got to do half the work, do some comedy sexy spots, and get my shit in, and then either get rolled up or late or go over. Like, for him, the match just got twice as easy. So, and the paycheck stayed the same, and his girl gets paid. So, all that's win-win-win for RVD, man. Sorry, my voice going already. Y'all. But if you didn't watch Impact this week, Impact Attack's out now. It was a really fun show yesterday with MSG and Outback Ted. But they wrapped up Wrestle House in a grand finale that, like Stranger's Alley just said, really, really made the last 48 hours, getting to see Serena shine so brightly, but then going through the weeks that we have following the characters for over the years, seeing how they interwove it in really what was an improv herald, very much that, and really paid off business how they should. Great jokes. The only thing I would have punched up is Dr. Ted had laid out in the conspiracy theory, who stole the beer, the Deaners. We could have used a Sandman cameo. Instead, Crazy Steve just said he couldn't read the labels, making another blind joke. But really great stuff all the way around, from Johnny Bravo and Rosemary, Triple XL. The Deaners fucking killed it. Even the supporting players like Kylie Ray and Alicia Edwards did a great job too. You know what I mean? Sue Young and Dreamer was fun when he'd come in and steal the scene too. So, and obviously Swinger had just some phenomenal fucking funny lines, even when he was off camera. So great stuff, man. Oh, was that Jim the Stranger or Stranger's Alley that called in? He said Stranger, so I wasn't sure if it was Jim the Stranger or not. I think that was Jim the Stranger and not Stranger's Alley. I'm not sure. Whichever one of you Stranger Dangers it was, we appreciate you. I know you're both very loyal and here all the time. Yeah, Jim the Stranger. Hire him to babysit your kids. All right. Sister-in-law is out of surgery. That's good. Getting them fucking wisdom teeth out. That's a motherfucker. 3 impacted. Woo! You ever been through that shit, man? That's a motherfucker. Joe Carnage in the house. I see him too. I got your email, John. I got a couple that people are asking for mentorship. Forgive me if I don't get back right away. Monday through Thursday, 16-hour production days. So hopefully Friday, Saturday, I'll be able to get through emails and see what's going on. Jim the Stranger says, yes, I'm both. Fucking A. There you go. Same guy, but not the same. Same, but not same. Ronaldo still fired. So that was from Wrestle Stink and Pro Wrestling. Let's see what we got here. AJ Styles, you might have heard of him, reveals he tested positive for COVID earlier this year. Jesus Christ. I tested positive a month ago. I recovered. I didn't have so many problems with it. Hopefully The Rock and his family are good. Not too bad of symptoms. Maybe a couple of boogers, headache, and fever, but that's about it. Like, this coming out of like being a fucking virtue signaler as a celebrity over something that's being exposed at the same time as a massive lie and work is just too strange for me to handle, especially after 18.5 million was given to Florida government. I don't know, man. Like, do people need to go on fucking Twitter? Like, I've contracted the common cold. Pray for me. Thoughts and prayers. Zoofer Ben, as far as the group, I think better guidelines would also help so that everything will be 100% clear with all due respect. Here's the guidelines. Don't be an infidel touch hole who goes into business for themselves. Do good biz for everybody else. Say yes and do ideas, and don't try and get your shine off of somebody else's shit like you got an aha moment. And you probably won't get fucked with. That's usually my best advice. Or as Joey Mercury once said, never miss a chance to shut the fuck up. So there's guideline number one. Not that you don't have a voice here and whatnot, but I'm not going to play. This is what I like, and these are the buzzwords that don't da-da-da. If you have to think twice before you fucking hit send is this some dumb shit that really needs to be said, or is this some shit that could possibly get triggered by Facebook algorithms and pull the whole community because I had to get my shit in a ha-ha meme moment? If you're asking yourselves those questions before you hit fucking send, chances are you already know the fucking answer, and you don't need daddy to come in and go, you shouldn't do that. Because if you do, you need to come to a show and bring $5, $10, and then I'll straighten you out the fucking hard way. And then you'll remember that side of your face fucking throbbing. And next time you want to fucking be a touch hole or less than a man who chops wood and carry water and gets up on the fucking roof and shovels snow so your fucking house doesn't cave in, you probably won't need me to spell out the fucking rules for you. Losky Triple D in the house with the Bizets, live from Dippin' Donuts. New Star Trek podcast, Drizopt today. Appreciate you, Triple D. I got my first birdie last week with Massey, who you were working, but it was a good one. I was hitting the irons like a pro. It's fucking great. And I'll beat you too. That's how good. But if you guys want to beam them up, go over to Hameen Media Group YouTube and hameenmediagroup.podbean.com, or we're on iHeartRadio now too. If you guys like getting it there, MSG got that set up for you guys to do both Hacker Hameen and Hameen Media Group there. Spotify. I don't know if we're on Stitcher. Who gives a fuck? Because that one sucks anyway, I think. Podbean, and obviously your iTunes users, our biggest group. The Rock is back to make a comment while he's under COVID lockdown about the word jabroni being added to the dictionary. This week, 650 words were added to the dictionary, and jabroni was one of them. Popularized by the pro wrestling icons, including Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and the Iron Sheik. Never heard of him. Has officially been added to the American Dictionary, American English Dictionary. Honored to have a word actually make the dictionary, Rock tweeted, making all my teachers very proud. For the record, I may have made the word jabroni famous as part of the Earth culture, but the Iron Sheik made it famous in our wild wrestling locker rooms. So shout out to the Sheik. I'm sure, my tag team partner, GGP, would be happy to give you a Hey Jabroni knockoff. Shout out to the Megan brothers who run a lot of shows in Toronto and fun stuff that I did up there at the synagogue. They are the nephews of the Iron Sheik, and they're the ones who, whenever it's the Monday, go fuck yourself, whatever, that's them, you guys. It's not really Sheik tweeting. So shout out. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good birdie, Triple D. It was solid. Par 4, I fucking laid it right up on there. I had a monster drive, then I hit the 8 iron, and it fucking landed. Came up, landed about 20 feet off the green, rolled. Dude, I was within, no lie, 16 inches of the fucking cup. Mass was hitting his, referee Sideburns was hitting his irons like shit, too. The first 3 holes, he was fucking pissed. I didn't even say nothing to him because he was getting so mad, dude. I was just on that day. You know how it is when you have one. But we usually, 11 up? Right about 9 to 11 up, 9-11 up. But I was only 7 over. So I was pretty happy. And I made 2 or 3 shitty mistakes. So I really could have been 4 over, which would have been my best round ever. But I was happy with it. And you'll be happy with it too when you go to thebrosters.com / what is it? Oh, just go to thebrosters.com and get official Brosters coffee, Russo limited edition. Obviously, it's a Dippin' Donuts too. If you're in CNY, we're doing a lot of promotions with them. The 5-pound bag promotion getting hammered out in the next 48 hours. Going to be $75 for the 5-pound bag of Brosters. So as the world falls down around us, you don't have to keep reordering. You can stock up and make sure you got plenty of Brosters to watch the apocalypse happen from your front porch. So also ZordosOliveOil.com. Saw some good sales there too as well. You guys, we appreciate that. If you're looking for something for the foodie, the chef in your life, you just like those artisanal products, or like these guys who called in earlier, putting over at the end, which, they had to, otherwise I would torture them and hook electrical, battery jumper cables up to their nuts. And that supporting ZordosOliveOil.com is supporting Hameen Media Group.
Group.
I know. And thank you to everybody who's been buying at ProWrestlingTees.com / all of us. Bin Hameen, Greek God Papadon, SEG shirts, Stevie Richards, 20% off coming this weekend for Labor Day. And also at Twitch here right now, all the promotions, 30% off for subscriptions. So if you are one of those supporters, or you just want to make sure you're in on getting all the signal flares for the watch alongs, getting a subscription now cheaper than ever at twitch.tv / conspiracy horseman. So cool promotions. And I know we don't ask for anything around here. It's all what you guys can do. I know times are tough, and I don't ever expect anybody to do anything. People do it because they like the content here. We try and inspire, and we've got more coming down the wire for you. We just got this affiliate stuff hooked up, and we appreciate everybody who's gone over to YouTube, Hameen Media Group, or added it on their iTunes or whatever feed you're getting it on, because a lot of our shows that are our producers' pet projects that they feel passionately about, we're getting lost in our main stage shows. We're getting lost in a giant feed. So we split it, moved them over there, and now you've got 2 channels that you can get great content from. And we're going to have specialty things over there that are kind of one-offs and things going on. So appreciate all the producers working hard, expanding their boundaries. Horror Junkyard is going to get into gaming. So if you like this call and stuff, more interactivity with Hameen Media Group producers, that's going to be a whole thing. You want to break Sal. People love hanging out with Sal, man. Obviously, he's phenomenal. Just a incredible human being. Well, he's not even a human being, incredible Nephilim that we get to hang out with. And you can too, man. So that might cost you a little bit of a premium or to play Madden against Stevie, but this is the access. If you guys want it, then we're trying to provide for you now that we've got this thing rolling. So appreciate that. What am I sabotaging? That I sabotage Sideburns gloves? Don't, kayfabe, brother. Kayfabe. He just got a whole set of brand new irons, all fucking gripped and measured and shit. Oh, he was hitting them bad. He was fucking hot, bro. And I was watching his swing. I couldn't fucking figure out what he was doing wrong. A major championship's been announced for next week's episode of NXT, promoting NXT Super Tuesday 2 in their second consecutive week in a modified schedule. Maybe they just leave him there, right? As the championship was vacated last week, New champion Killer Cross has separated shoulder in the same match where he won it from Keith Lee. 60-minute Iron Man match between Cole, Finn Balor, Ciampa, and Gargano was supposed to decide a new champ tonight. However, the bout went the distance, ended in a draw with Cole and Balor each scoring 2 falls. Regal announced that Adam Cole and Finn Balor will face off next week in sudden death finals, and the winner becoming NXT champ. Oh, I heard about this. So fucking brutal, man. All I can hear is Tommy Dreamer in my head. You pay off the fucking stip. Like, you just sat through an hour match to fucking get to wait for a match that will then decide it in sudden death. Like, they don't go farther than that. Terrible booking choice, man. And I bet they feel it afterwards to make your crowd sit there for an hour and not give them the fucking payoff off of some. This is awesome. Sudden death finals are just a match, right? So you're labeling it something. What you do if you're doing sudden death, it comes right after the match. So get an extra half hour on NXT and make people go, oh shit, they're going to keep going. And you got to pay it off. Now we don't give a fuck. It's not like the guys are grueling getting through an Iron Man match. They're coming back fresh a week later just to have a match. Stupid, fucking stupid. Dude, that is piss poor. What kills me is ultimate respect for William Regal, dude. Like, him and Rip, tight mindset. As good as Rip is, Regal's better at psychology. And I don't understand. Maybe it's just he's been there so long and he don't give a fuck on stuff. And he's not going to die on that hill to go against Triple H on some dumb thing, which I totally get. But like, dude, that's the 5 more minutes fucking thing. And then you give the crowd 5 more minutes and fucking you get to the payoff and it fucking means something. They did the whole thing for the 5 more minutes spot and then they fucked their audience out of it. Dude, this is booking 101 and they can't even get it right with Triple H and fucking Regal there and Road Dogg and Shawn. They didn't get the fucking finish of the McAfee thing right. That's for sure. Dude, I just don't understand how the best minds, the biggest draws in the business, can't fucking keep it simple for the developmentals and tell the stories that they should be, dude. It's crazy. They won't pop a big rating. What would have been a bigger pop is to fucking have him win JC Sports. And says they want 2 nights to pop a big rating. So they do that and crown the champ on that shit. And then the next week you open with the big fucking celebration snabbits and all that fucking shit. And then the next heel comes in to interrupt it. And we're off to the fucking races on that story of where we're going to do it. But now they got no payoff on their Iron Man, just some this is awesome shits for some Zoom fucking marks. And now next week that match is just going to be a cold fucking match for the title. Who gives a fuck? That does no real business right there, dude. Brutal. Oof, that shit kills me. 315-533-2 what is it? 2665? Yeah. 315-533-2665. The phone line's open for our next story. You be the co-host here on the Friday Locker Room. Infidels, do you have what it takes? Do you have the acumen to hang in with Hacker Hameen, or are you just going to be another young boy who gets his bag shit in and thrown out into the hallway? That's not true. Mauro Ronaldo, gone from WWE, still fired. This is a singles match, and I will convert your VHS video libraries. Just send them to me. I don't have much else to do, so send them. WWE reveals Rey Mysterio suffered a torn tricep at WWE Payback. 315-533-2665. Unfortunately, WWE has this week confirmed the news that Rey Mysterio is on the shelf after suffering a torn tricep at WWE Payback. Rey has competed alongside his son Dominic Mysterio to defeat Seth Rollins and Murphy at the event. It was in a tremendous tag team match, but sadly that came at the cost of the WWE legend injuring himself in the process. Rey Mysterio was scheduled to go one-on-one with Seth Rollins last night due to his injuries, but Dominic, who stepped in for him, Rey suffered a torn tricep. This is from WWE.com. He teamed up with his son Dominic to defeat Seth Rollins. All this is copy. So I don't know what it was on. Did you see what the spot was on that he fucking that he might have torn it on? I mean, maybe he was going into it with it and it fucking tore more. I'm not sure. 315 Tuttles, area code 315 533 2665 315 533 2665. But yeah, man, that was probably one of the highlights of the show, that match on Payback. These Dominic promos are pretty brutal. Like, and I can't, it's not his fault. Like, the kid's young. He's got no acting experience and he's got a lot of work to do, 10,000 hour rule to get there. But when it comes to the in-ring ability, especially when he's not even really built like his dad at all, obviously you see he's got his mom's legs and upper torso. And, I think the daughter's built a little bit more like dad is. And she looked beautiful on Raw too. So I'm sure they're, politicking to get him in. And I was thinking of that. Would that be an interesting, pairing to put her as his, corner person or his valet, where it's not something sexual. It's just like, I saw some World Star video, some little kids out back on their porch, and the little brother's like got boxing gloves on. He's maybe like, I don't even know, 6, 7 years old, and he's fucking lighting the bag up hard. And his sister's like, you can get it. No one can mess with my brother. Nobody can get him. My brother's the best. That could be interesting.
Call from
Tunnel 17.
to accept.
Call from Infidel Moron in Ontario, Canada. This better not be Chris LaPlante trying to hack the phone lines.
Nope, this is Tunnel 17, the Pinhall Mean supporter.
Yeah, man, I know it is, dude. Appreciate you, guy. Big supporter of everything we do, from ProWrestlingTees.com to live shows to everything we got going on at Hameen Media Group, man. How you doing this morning, bro, up there?
I'm doing great. Just a hectic morning with all the kids, feeding breakfast, building schools.
Right on, man. They're going back to school full time or just part time?
Nope, we actually signed them right off the whole school board, and I'm going to become a teacher and teach them all from our house.
Okay. That's good for you, man. Good for you. I know you got a big heart with all that stuff, and I know you do a lot. I don't need to go in on your personal biz that way, but I know that's where your mind's at when it comes to being social conscious, to get around things that are a bunch of bullshit and do it the right way, man. I know you. That's absolutely what you're about.
Oh, absolutely. I bought a tiny home, and I've converted it into a tiny school home house.
That's, dude, why not go back to the one-room schoolhouse? You never know. You might need to buy another one because people are going to hear about it and go, you know what? Enough of the bullshit. This guy's doing it. He's setting the way. And this could be 2-3 years from now. What could this really be for you, man? You know what I mean? What could it?
Absolutely.
So that's great. Please keep me updated on that, because I was an instructional designer and college professor as well, and I'm very interested in that model. I've been getting hit up by Colgate University, which is pretty prestigious, like 4 or 5 different recruiters who want me to become their instructional designer, but they want it on site and all the help. Like, there's no way I can go do 40 hours a week and run this shit. So, but the opportunity to create courses and have stuff there to teach and learn, man, you might be able to do remote learning across Zoom and be teaching people's kids all over the place, dude, all across all provinces.
Well, technically, only my one daughter is kindergarten age at the age of 5. My son's 4. My other daughter's 3, but they want to participate. So I'm going to basically teach my 3, 4, and 5-year-old all kindergarten. And then my 8-year-old, we have got all the curriculums and stuff to teach her grade 3 at the same time.
Awesome, man. Well, I mean, that's you got them pretty basic stuff, so you're not having to worry about trigonometric functions and all that kind of shit yet. But color inside the lines is a fun day, and I'm sure you're gonna have great bonding because of it. And way to pivot in this fucking crazy ass world. A lot of people can't even wrap their heads around that kind of shit, man. So,
yeah, they actually helped build this thing too. My 5-year-old daughter was using my cordless drill, drilled all the holes through the stud, pulled all the wires for all the electrical plugs I put in here.
Come on.
my 8-year-old daughter was using this cordless drill and screwing in all the wood paneling I put up inside. And
learning life lessons and making memories with dad, man. I mean, shop class, all that kind of stuff. That's real chop wood, carry water shit right there. And they're going to be better humans for it, man. So shout out to you. Speaking of dad, we were talking about dads here, obviously, and you're a great one. Rey Mysterio, is he a great dad letting Seth Rollins beat the shit out of his kid with a kendo stick?
I couldn't have tolerated it myself.
Yeah, man. We saw that Ray tore his tricep at Payback. They're saying, not that that's good news, but I think in their storyline, it's not going to hurt them because, dude, I've downed Seth Rollins plenty on this platform, from changing the monikers 50 times to the Superplex, Falcons Arrow, Ring of Honor bullshit, kick out falsies, and like hurting people, being unsafe. But I will put over for the first time, man. Seth Rollins has shown himself as a true veteran and seasoned worker, and being able to get great performances out of Dominic, take liberties with him in a violent way, but also protect him and do business in the matches the right way on his way out, where he's going to do maternity leave or whatever it is with Becky, and take his time that way, which is well earned. But I do got to take this minute to put over, as much as I'll bitch about things, Seth Rollins has really done great business here as far as everything in this storyline that we've seen going forward, with him and Murphy about to break up as well, and a little sidebar that way. Will he become Judas and turn on Jesus? That interests me. And I was also putting out there, we saw Ray's daughter, Dominic's sister, who's cute girl. Would it be interesting to have a sister in the corner of a brother as a valet? So we're not doing something sexual. We're just doing something very, family oriented, and she's pushing him maybe as his support system. What are you thinking about that?
Oh, I think it's a good idea. There's nothing wrong with having family there. That's what everything in life's supposed to be about, is about family. And in this world these days, not a lot of stuff has anything to do with family.
Yeah, that's right. There's a storyline. Everything we see with family is usually some dysfunctional thing. What if we see, come together in time of strife and back each other, and even let Dominic be down about losing, and she's the one who picks him up and is the influence. I saw that video on World Star. It was viral. It went around Facebook, whatever, but of the little dude boxing in the back on the bag, and his sister is maybe a year older than him, and she's gassing him up. They're like, your kids' ages. And it's just that support. It's that support of, nobody can beat my brother. My brother's the best, that kind of shit, and I think that could be something interesting that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing I'm impressed with over this whole storyline is the fact that WWE's had a storyline that's lasted more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. And here's something I was going to ask too. We've seen, we know the lucha history, that you start as unmasked and you earn your mask, and then when your mask, because they a mask character in Mexico is far more valuable. And then when you get the mask pulled off. So as a young boy, he's wearing the original Rey Mysterio gear, stylized wise, not wearing a mask. In this day and age, does he need to go under the mask again? Can we make Dominic just a star without it? You know what I mean? I mean, there's tons of value in it with it, but I don't know. I don't need him to do that in my mind at this point.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
There's money. Here's the thing. Rey Mysterio made $10 million on selling masks. So that's the reason to fucking,
Okay, maybe not such a tough call. If I was Dominic, hey, where's my mask? Right.
Your face isn't that good looking compared to and Rey Mysterio too. What else is Rey a genius about? And I know Stranger's Alley's in there. And if you start getting over, or you get any wrestler who gets to that point where you're having toys and things made of you, Rob Van Dam and Rey Mysterio are two of the most made toys, because they switch up their gear, whether it's WrestleMania, whether it's the shows every week coming out with new gear. That's why there's more Rey Mysterios than any other fucking WWE figure.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just like why they keep switching all the belts too.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But I think the novelty of having all the rays and the, you know what I mean, and the spectrum of them all, as opposed to the belt. I'd say that, but bullshit, because I know there's a lot of Mark belt collectors out there. So one you're spending $16.99 on, the other one you're spending what, $350 on. So, you know, they're making their money where they can. Sure.
Oh, absolutely. You got it.
Strangers Alley says gear is expensive. It sure is, unless you wear BDUs like me. But you can get great deals on the best boots in the business from SteveTheShoeMan.com. Even if you want custom shoes for Marvel Universe or whatever you're into, Jelly Beans, he does it all, man. Did my boots, Dalton Castle's, Mandy Rose's, Dolph Ziggler's, Sonya Deville's, a lot. You can go on Steve the Shoe Man on Instagram and see everything he's working on, always updating. Good Australian guy who is really, he was a guy who just rented cars in the airport or near the airport there, and his side hustle was making clown shoes and costumes and things like that. Started making wrestling boots for my guys, the Insurgencies on the Indies. And dude, it took off in the last 2-3 years. Another great story of let's all raise each other up together and just keep pushing each other forward. He did those tall Chelsea green boots too, the ones that go up the upper calves. Go ahead.
Now, does he just make wrestling boots, or would he do civilian shoes?
He does civilian shoes as well. There's tons of different funny and cool prints, whatever you guys want. You want shoes that have all jelly beans on them. You want ones that look like they're on fire. He's even made wrestling boots that are clear, so you can, like, if you're into those funky socks, you know, that's a whole thing with the crazy sock crew. So you can see the socks right through it. It looks like you're wearing a different pair of shoes every day based on the socks that you have on it.
Wild.
So, yeah, man. Steve the Shoe Man on Instagram. Give him a follow, even if you're not buying nothing. Tell him you're a member of Hameen Media Group, because he sends me free gauntlets to give out to people in the locker room. We've given those away in the Hameen Media discussion group. He's done both of my pairs of boots recently, and they're awesome. He can even take pictures. If you wanted your dogs and cats or something on there, he can now print right on leather. So my new boots, which they'll never see up in Canada, because I told Chris LaPlante that they're never going to see them, that he can put whatever you want on there, man. So appreciate that. What else you got going on up there, bro?
Not too much. Just getting school ready, and we're heading into what would normally be a good long weekend up here, but this year none of the carnivals are running and stuff because of the COVID. But we're going to make the best of it, have a social distance bonfire, and go from there.
You go. There you go. Do you know about crossing the border, where, like, how shut down it is for like essential workers? What are they defining as an essential workers? The wives were asking me that because, I have an anniversary every weekend, it seems, but like some of them wanted to go back up there. And I was like, I don't know. I could easily, work it at the border saying I want to go buy Battle Arts because Santino's selling it and I'm going up there for that. But I don't know if that would be enough to get me across.
Well, they are letting Canadian wrestlers back and forth to go shoot for Impact Wrestling and stuff.
Are they?
Cody Deaner, he's back home all the time.
Okay. So if
he's
Deaner's
on my Facebook, and he's always around his area riding his motorcycle around, and then he just goes out and then comes back.
All right.
I think as long as you have a job to go to, you're allowed to cross. It's just you're not allowed to go over frivolously shopping or something like that. But if you have an actual job or something like business-wise, they will let you across, but just for frivolous BS, no, they're not letting it happen right now.
Okay. Well, then I'll have to work them at the border, and maybe we'll go up to Toronto for a night. But that cool, man. That's what I was wondering. I wonder if LaPlante knows that to get people across the run. Are they even letting anybody run shows with social distance up there or no?
There's a couple indie type shows, but Chris LaPlante's show that he was supposed to run this month, I believe, was canceled. But his next scheduled one's December for the Christmas show, where you always knock over the tree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna need a new tree this year.
he's going to run that show, but the September show has already been canceled.
Well, I'll cancel that one along with the 2CW one and cancel Christmas as well. But Tuttles, I appreciate you, man. You're always here, always a great supporter of Hameen Media Group, man. And when we cross the border up there to slap those scum-sucking, maple syrup-sucking Canadian morons across their faces, you're always there, man. So appreciate you being such a great supporter and joining us here on the Friday Locker Room, Briz.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Y'all do well.
Y'all
There he is, Tuttles himself, baby. Bully Ray discusses how WWE, how NXT could improve and why Jeremy Borash is the answer. Hall of Famer Bully Ray gave his thoughts. Says when it comes to emotional investment, a lot of guys don't get you emotionally invested with moves. Bully Ray began on the show. Remember, if you think emotionally invested in somebody, you're probably just responding to a move and not the person. Emotional investment is all about the person. So emotional investment normally comes on the microphone. That's why I want to see more of an NXT, Bully Ray continued. I want to see more of these guys and gals speaking from the heart. And they have something there at NXT. They have a weapon there. And I think it's underutilized when it comes to tapping into the emotion of wrestlers. That weapon's Jeremy Borash. I think Borash does a phenomenal job of putting together these packages. The stuff that he is and has been doing with Io Shirai, or Lo Shirai, whatever. The packages they've been doing with her are off the charts. I haven't seen them. What do you guys think? Are they really good? Ray also would praise Borash's work on the Boneyard match from Mania, the stuff that Borash was behind when it came to Taker and Styles. The Boneyard match, that was all Borash. Don't let anyone else fool you. Don't let them smoke and mirror you. It's Borash because Borash was right by Matt Hardy's side during all the final deletion stuff. He understands all the newer stuff that gets guys and gals over. I wish they were tapping him and doing a little bit more when it comes to letting people talk. He's not wrong at all. And what kind of sucks, and maybe just because you didn't put him over and name him or know him, like Jeremy Borash and it's Paradise Jimmy Long, like Susio's tag team partner and Totally Awesome, the Kamikaze Kid, Jimmy Paradise. It's both of them. And they both are smart workers to keep their job instead of trying to step up and do what I would do and be like, this is what we need to do with this guy. Let me go produce it. Not to say that he doesn't fight for his business, but Borash has been in this game 20 plus years. And when he was at Impact, have you ever been to an Impact show? You can't not be impressed with Borash, even as a fan, because you see him doing producer work. You see him getting the tech guy set up. Then he goes in the ring and hypes the fucking crowd before the show. Then he can do commentary. Then he can get in and ring announce like the guy. And then he can go and produce the best segments that are cinematic that stand out on the show. And he really is an unsung weapon, bro. Like he's a nuclear weapon, dude. So that was pretty spot on of what they should be doing. I definitely include Jimmy Paradise in that, but Bully Ray knows, dude. Like, sure, the moves of the Dudley Boys and some of the hardcore stuff got over, but how did Bully Ray get known? By being a dancing and stuttering idiot that made people laugh in a sea of hardcore stuff, right? Bully Ray with the nerd stuff and whatever it was with all the Dudley Boys shit, man, from Spike to him and Devon's run together to Dances with Dudley, Big Dick Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, and then transitioning from a lower stakes character to a higher stakes character is something we can do. It's tough. It's not hard to go from high to low stakes, but to get them back up there, we as humans want to see somebody from a lower stakes transition to that. And he did that. And then when he became Bully Ray and reinvented himself as a solo wrestler again, it was those shoot promos that was really the New York, go fuck yourself, Bully Ray type of guy, you know, that Northeastern Philly, Jersey attitude that came through, even though he stole from a little bit from here and there. Good artists create, great artists steal and make it their own. Now he was the fucking like a serious heel contender, and I really enjoyed his work in Impact that way. And I'm surprised WWE didn't bring him back to fucking be that guy, because that dude could get over, even though he's older in years now or what have you, you know. But I think a big thing isn't just Borash in the production. This is me selling for myself. They need a serious improv and acting coach to be able to pull those performances out of people. You can get some stuff out of great production and telling the story visually. But if you can really get the performer where you don't need the production and it's all coming right through at you in a wow type of scenario, that's what they should also be working on, both at the same time. I think both at the same time, absolutely. And that showed on Impact. We had great character work in Wrestle House. Everything's produced to the hilt to protect everybody and make everybody shine. And then we try and do an in-ring thing where it's a scene that's going to get interrupted with Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace, and fucking Emma. And it was just, you saw 12th graders perform, and then here come the second graders to do their little play, but everybody's got to clap for them. But we know it's like, we saw something good. And now this. So, yalla. I see Dr. Ted in the chat as well. Emotion sells, moves don't. Wrestling 101, baby. That's it. 100%. Let's see here. What do we got left? We're on Impact, so we might as well talk about it. The number is 315-533-2665. 315-533-2665. Impact crowns. Let me get a drink of water before I do this. Voice is going. I got to get more halls. Cherry Halls, balls to the walls. Impact Wrestling crowns a new world champion. If you haven't watched, in the main event on Impact, Eric Young defeated Eddie Edwards Tuesday night in the main event of Impact on Access. We covered that on our Impact Attack with Outback Ted and MSG and myself yesterday. A good show. Nice to get to talk about wrestling in a positive light and be entertained by it. Less than 2 months after returning to the promotion, Young, who released along with a dozen others from WWE back in April, returned to Impact at their recent Slammiversary pay-per-view and was surprised as the fifth entrant in a match for the vacant world title. Yeah, we didn't really care for that. The way they just added him in there wasn't right. They could have taken somebody out backstage and subbed him in, and so they did it in the ring, and it was like, with Rich. It just, the pacing was off. The story continues to build, and then this week he comes out with a mask on, like a hockey mask, and it's Eddie Edwards, Psycho Eddie and Psycho EY. Man Beast had a great point on this, but right now we don't really have a ton of Psycho from Eddie, and it really needed to get turned up here. EY uses the mask behind the ref's back to clock him on the head and then hit him with a finish to go into it. But we had a heel clean finish, I guess, on Impact this week with EY going forward as champ. It's a good call, but is this politics because he's so tight with D'Amore? Andreessen says Eric looking old as shit, in my opinion, bald and wild. I kind of like that, though. You know what I mean? I like that I'm crazy and I'm back here and I don't give a fuck anymore. Like that, there's a lot to play off there. 315-533-2665, Friday Locker Room phone line for today. Google Voice, K-Fabian, the real cell phone number. But Impact has been awesome. Really the best show in wrestling. We've seen the numbers around 140,000, 160,000, which is tragic for the amount of great work that they're doing during the bullshit time of COVID. They're really putting out the best entertainment in wrestling out there, the best ongoing long-term business storylines. Sure, Impact is going to impact sometimes and overbook things or do things a different way to swerve. And a lot of things could be punched up. And there's a couple scenes that look amateur compared to like the 80% of the show that looks awesome. And that really makes them look more amateur because there's a division. So there's a couple things where they're like, all right, we really need to focus on what our weakness is to make that a strength so we don't have any weaknesses anymore. I think that'd be a good thing in the next quarter of tapings, them going forward, because they're really at a plateau thing. I'm looking forward to see what they come up to replace WrestleZone with, because that's 3 big segments on a show that are about 6 to 8 minutes each. That's 24, 25 minutes in a show. Are you going to come back with wrestling? You're going to come back with something produced? I'm interested to see what their creative is. And if Borash and Paradise Jimmy set that standard with the Broken Universe, and we've seen it in the Boneyard, that standard's been continued by, Tommy Dreamer, by Zombie Princess, by who else backstage there? D'Amore, by Cyrus, Josh Matthews, I know on the booking committee as well. Can't think off the top of my head who are the other producers right now. But, those guys are continuing that standard instead of letting it fall. So if Wrestle House was a great, rib on the real world and whatever else, reality shows, Big Brother and all that shit, what do they got next up their sleeves to knock off and make it their own? I think those guys have proven that they absolutely can do it. I look forward to it. So Society 858 says there's a lot of guys on Impact who could use some acting lessons. Eddie, Moose, Tennille, some major league goofs. I agree. Moose gets it. He just needs to be tuned up. He just needs a couple things. Eddie, when he was doing the stuff with Sammy, the psycho performances where he was protected was really good. Like that really surprised me out of Eddie because I've worked a lot of shows with him in 2CW and he seems more like the, good looking frat boy, Roddy Strong type, the paper boy, so to see him get to do that was very good. I also like him as kind of like the stud horse with the American Wolf. So naturally he's a baby face. He can do a little bit of psycho heel, but I don't know, man. He needed to turn something up more here. I don't know where we're going to go with them, but you could get some awesome hardcore with Eric Young and Eddie Edwards out of this in a gimmick match, like maybe two, right? Cyrus or Callus? Is it Callus the Cyrus? I don't know. I call him Cyrus. Everybody in wrestling's got fucking 3 names minimum. You feel like it's easy as hell to be a nut job? I don't know, man. Like in wrestling, it's because you have to be nutty when you're silent and do things a certain way. You have to do a lot with looks, and you have to be turned up all the time. Depends on which way you're going to go with it. It's all about commitment to the bit, and it's all about the amount of believability you're going to build into it, so your character will be pushed a certain way, and then when the time to strike that match goes, then we burn the whole thing down. But you gotta keep building up to that. So I think EY does the psycho stuff good. I think Eddie does as well, man. So, and they both do it differently. There you go. I mean, your wife works the psycho gimmick. You don't got to tell me, bro. I think it's all good. But EY's back. He's the champ at Impact. I think it's good with the 90-dayers coming back. He's a good choice and a guy who D'Amore can trust to some degree based on, 15 years of working together, man, since EY kind of first came in the biz when Team Canada and all that shit was over with D'Amore and Rude and him. Who was the other one in Team Canada? Lance Storm? But yeah. Let's see. Roman Reigns. You might have heard of him. He shows up to wreck everyone and leaves. He criticized, and let's see who wants to call in on this one. 315-533-2665. 315-533-2665. Roman Reigns fires back at criticism online. So you fuckers. I'm the best performer of this generation. Well, we've had this conversation earlier, haven't we? It appears the new attitude Roman Reigns has showcased isn't just for his on-screen character as he fired back at a fan on social media. The big dog returned to WWE SummerSlam and managed to win the Universal Championship in the main event of Payback this past weekend. He's brought a new attitude with him as he paired up with Paul Heyman, and he's showing that he's no longer willing to take criticism from people online. One fan tweeted that Roman is being shoved down people's throats again, and the new Universal Champion responded by stating he's the best performer of this generation, and the title is now in the right hands to have true value. I mean, do you want to just clip out, shit from Saudi Arabia? Do you want to clip out Undertaker WrestleMania shit and put it in there. He might not be wrong. The best performer of this generation. Well, then I counter with this generation sucks shit through a straw. So you're the best of the shit heels who fucking don't know how to promo or work a legend the right way. Now, that being said, he's a fucking stud horse who looks like fucking Aquaman, who's got legacy, who should be fighting The Rock, and getting over. He's obviously got all the tools. Promo wise, he's lackluster, a D+ at best, and being able to talk people into the seats. Does your wife, sister, daughter, auntie, and grandma want to bang him? Absolutely. That's what his fucking thing is. When you hear him come out, you hear high-pitched squeals, little kids and fucking women. When you don't hear men going, yeah, fucking Reigns, right? That's how, when you're listening to the crowd, you know who he's over with, right? So, we'll see if they go along this ride with him as a heel. He's so tough talking out at fans on Twitter now, or whoever Heyman's assistant is that's actually doing it. At the end of the day, this guy could be gone like that with a leukemia flare up. So what are we doing here? He looks great, but he's also definitely on that new Florida vaccine, that test and HGH combo. You don't fucking go away for 2 months and come back super shredded. Just be like, no, I was working out at home. Really? Then why weren't you that fucking shredded the last 10 years of your career? What's the difference of the last 2 months that you unlocked the secret? So, all this is going on, and he was already named in one steroid scandal before that last year that kind of got swept under the rug. What happens when the fucking comes raining down on it again? Right. And then you've got all this type of shit. You got to be careful engaging these marks, because there's too much on you that's been left open to like get trolled back on. And now you look silly because you fucking step down off your pedestal to fucking engage the peasants. And then the peasants fucking slapped your tits in front of everybody. Got to be smart about this shit, man. Does he have millions upon millions of dollars written on him? Absolutely. Is it good with putting him with Heyman? I think so. I would kept Brock in there and had them together. Somebody even asked me the other night, why haven't we seen Brock versus Lashley? I go, because everyone's a fucking retard who hates money. That's the only possible answer, dude. Like, why you'd bring Lashley back, Bellator badass, the black equivalent of Brock Lesnar, a massive fucking draw, and you're going to let Brock's fucking shit expire, and you're going to do Rock and Robin, and you're going to do fucking obstacle courses with Sami Zayn, and you're going to do, here are my cross-dressing transgender sisters, and then we're going to do Lana fucking wedding instead of going Brock, Lashley. Let's do it, you fucking assholes. Like, everyone's a retard who hates money. That's the only fucking possible explanation. Oh shit. But with Reigns, I think I don't know if I liked him waiting till the very end at Payback to come out to steal the belt in a heel way. I totally get it. It makes sense. I've done that myself. Usually I've done the fake injury fucking gimmick where I blew my knee out in the first 2 seconds of the match. Go on the hard sell, let the other guys do the work, come in and fucking steal it at the end out of nowhere. That's a fun night, and it pisses people off. We kind of got that here. So I liked it. He looks fucking great. Paul Lee's lost probably about 15, 20 pounds, which makes me happy. Hopefully he's got younger kids, man. And regardless of what we say on Russo's brand or what kind of scumbag liar Paul Lee really is, or how many hundreds of thousands of dollars he's fucked his own guys out of. I was an ECW mark, and I learned a lot, and I've stolen a lot, and I've had a lot of great moments with my boys there. So there's always going to be a place in my fucking wrestling history for appreciation of Paul Heyman and stealing from him as well, no matter how big of a shitbag anybody is, I guess. But now he's kind of been exposed as not the genius that everybody thought he was, right? So maybe I will be too one day. Everybody throwing that word around me. Why isn't Hameen signed? Sign fucking Stevie and Hameen and Russo. Okay. Second that happens, I stop being a genius, right? And somebody was a genius because we get to the end of today's Friday locker room headlines, 31 strong here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman and Bin Hameen YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in for Ham Solo this morning, calling in our final story of the day. Called this one blind as I made it through 60 seconds and fucking would rather shit in my hands and wipe it on my face than watch another fucking minute of it. Netflix cancels The Big Show. Christmas special still set to air. Oh, fucking yeah. We'll see about that. Unfortunately, it's been reported that The Big Show will not be renewed for a second season and has been canceled. The series was focused on the Big Show's life after wrestling. It was a comedic series that had 8 episodes featuring other WWE legends such as Rikishi, Mark Henry, and Mick Foley. The show did prove to be popular and was met with positive reviews. Bullshit. But it was been confirmed Netflix is not going to be bringing it back for a second season. Jay Berger says, on behalf of the cast, staff, and crew of hashtag The Big Show, thank you to everyone who watched either with your fam or alone in your basement. What the fuck? Netflix was dreamed to work with, and we had a blast making the show. Rare air. Please take care of each other. Delusional. Fucking to start with. Possibly the worst choice you could make is putting out a 1991 laugh track dog shit show written by a bunch of nerds in a writer's room who fucking think that they can get The Big Show over as the happy-go-lucky dad who's just got his kids in another wacky situation this week, instead of actually doing something more reality-based that we see, even if it's a sitcom from Modern Family, and they don't have laugh tracks. What the fuck are you doing going back to this TGI Friday fucking Full House shit? None of it is going to get over at all. Dude, the show is garbage from the jump. I made it 90 seconds, and I knew this was going to be nothing more than a hot, steaming pile that The Big Show would have left in some arena, dude. And I'm a huge Big Show fan. Like, that kills me that the guy is going to get signed on to this thing and they got to do the table reads and cast his daughter and who's the best chemistry for his wife and all this shit. Meanwhile, he's not going with his giant hands fucking going, this is a fucking giant pile of shit. I know that you guys are paying me, but let's go back to the fucking drawing board and do something real. Like, that's going to actually get somewhere. If you couldn't read on paper what a fucking hunk of junk that fucking was, dude, I don't know what to tell you about, but I'm glad that Foley and you're getting your bros spots, but let's do something that fucking makes people and is really entertaining, not a fucking, I'm sitting behind with the roadcaster. Oh, that was the joke.
Ding dong. Ding dong.
Hitting a fucking laugh track and shit. Like, absolutely brutal, bro. And this is a bigger thing, not just for Big Show at all. This show aside, Netflix is got to be from ground floor to top floor full of dumb motherfuckers who are pulling some social agenda. Obama's getting signed alone. There's the one thing. They just signed fucking Prince Harry and his waitress wife to a big deal. I saw, what the fuck does Prince Harry and her have to say about anything? They've never lived a real life. They have no idea about, you know, what it takes to be a human being surviving, unless that's going to be their reality show off of it, or they're going to give advice like to the common man. You know what we do in America? We build people up to fucking say, I was in with them since the underground, to tear them down and stand over them and go, fuck you. You are no better than me. How dare you think you're a celebrity? That's what we do with every fucking person that we raise up on high in this country, dude. From Tiger Woods to whoever, to Bill Clinton, right? That's the, not that they didn't do it to themselves, but we relish in that as fucking psycho Americans, man. Netflix is just signing. I got to just start writing shows and sending them, because I watched part of Drunk Parents or something, Alec Baldwin and some other fucking washed up Latina actress. And just, dude, you could have made that movie in a weekend and mailed it in, and it was just trash. Watch some other show after that. Again, complete garbage. No sense of real production, storytelling, anything along those lines. Stack the Big Show stuff on that. And then the stuff I'm not even watching that's produced by them that I know is going to be shit. They're just green lighting garbage over there. And people are going to jump off. You got to give them quality stuff. Look at how WWE Network jumped off. Now, what's going to bring them back? Buying shows that get over like Cobra Kai, but that wasn't their show. That was a YouTube individual thing that got back over. Now they're going to pay for it and give the producers the right thing. That's 1 out of 7 that they're hitting on, bro. They have just garbage stuff going on at Netflix right now. And Amazon Prime, you know, they're all right. I guess this Peacock thing is launching too with NBC. So the model's changing all the way around. And it's going to, you know, be an ever-changing forefront of how you pick and choose your media going forward. But this type of stuff, here's the other thing I wanted to say with that, with things getting greenlit. You want to talk about total ridiculousness and blindness in wrestling when it comes to the entertainment biz and acting. AEW starts their own inside women's group. What's it called? Heels. Oh no, that's about women's heels and women wrestlers, but we're using the term heels as double entendre. Guess what else? Cody's project with his boyfriend Stephen Amell is also called Heels or Heel. No, I think it's called Heels. Which I've heard there really isn't even a story for yet. They're casting people and they're getting it already, but they don't even know what it's going to be about. Then I get an email yesterday because I sent a little donation in. I like to support indie artists and brothers. I get the update on Ryan Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler's brother, their movie. Guess what that's called? Heels. Do you think all this is just by happenstance? Do you think all the cool kids trying to get out? And guess what? If everybody's project is named Heels, guess what project is going to get over? None of them are going to get over. They're all going to flop based on arrogance, knowing and trying to be first to it, and not, they're worried about the title and not the content. It's unbelievable, bro. Like the people in this biz who still, it goes right over their head because of countless reasons. Ego, not knowing, listening to producers, just wanting the check and not doing legacy. Big Show's got a legacy. You know what I mean? He's beyond like having to make his name. Do you think that 8-show laugh track thing adds to his legacy? No, we in a day, I could have come up with something better that would have cemented him on a higher level, bro. You know, just with the people at Hameen Media Group that I do creative with, from Man Beast to Stevie Russo and MSG and Silvio, in an afternoon, we could have had a project that was 10 times better than the dumbass laugh track with the fake ass family for the sit down comedy that is a brainwashing programming thing from Netflix. Just trash to spend that kind of money and flush it down the shitter, man. Yalla, I'm glad it's gone. Not for the fact of Big Show and the Good Brothers not making whatever, but I just think that kind of art shouldn't even exist. There's no place for it. That low level that sets the bar so low and says, yeah, we this is what we want as human beings. And wrestling was doing that too. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen an uptick, better wrestling, better storylines, and ratings have increased, even if it's at 100,000 or 200,000 at a time. Things are increasing here all the time at hackerhameen.podbean.com. I get those notifications of new subscribers. I get those emails at Hacker Hameen of inspiration and saying thank you. Getting to talk to you guys today on the calls and calling in. Thanks for riding shotgun with me and those kind words that you said as we try and inspire each other back and forth to push the envelope every day. Keep our eyes on the madness as it unfolds from Australia to UK to Canada, you know, all the way around, east side, west side. That's how we're doing it at a Hameen Media Group. It's crazy. We forget the range that we have to influence people's lives and how many people are all over the place, and that this internet thing makes us feel like we're connected all in the same town, same room, all that kind of stuff, man. Really don't want to take that for granted. Or any of my producers or my co-host, my brother Stevie Richards, my Conspiracy Horseman brothers, Russo brand, Goldilocks Patreon, some new signups for that. I appreciate that as I love doing business with her because she's one of those ones who is so hungry, takes the advice, applies it right away. Also did Wrestling with Tragedy. Want to thank those guys, Kevin and Pierce. Pierce joining us on NXT. Kevin's probably going to join us soon here on Hameen Media Group for a show. And obviously the Kingpin Angel himself talking about the Velveteen Dream NXT controversy and the investigation being closed. That's air quotes if you couldn't hear that over the microphone there. Looking into that, had a great time with those guys. And again, rising tide raises all ships. It's Switch It Up September, so we're going to have different co-hosts all month long on different shows. Got to talk to Billy Ray Valentine about getting some high-level guests for you guys at Conspiracy Horsemen. The beat goes on here at Hameen Media Group. The business never ends, infidels. I'll be back. Man, could be as soon as 8 minutes, maybe 11 o'clock. I'm not sure. For Light the Fuse with MSG and Chris Silvio. Can't wait to talk about my girl Serena some more. So here it is, infidels. It's your Friday locker room. hackerhameen.podbean.com, twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen. Yalla!